When the supercontinent Gondwana fractured, a fragment drifted away, alone, without connection to the rest of the world. Time passed, millions of years, and in that absolute isolation, life took paths that defy all comprehension. Madagascar is the result, a territory where the strange is normal and the impossible routine. The island emerged from the Indian Ocean like a geological scar, 400 million years of history compressed into a landmass that separated from Africa 160 million years ago. Since then, nothing entered, nothing left. The Mozambique Channel, with its 400 kilometers of deep waters and treacherous currents, became the most effective barrier nature could create. Evolutionary silence. Here, the great felines never arrived. The primates that would dominate the rest of the world never arrived. The venomous snakes that would conquer every continent never arrived. Madagascar remained suspended in time, and the life it contained began writing its own rules. The result is a catalogue of creatures that should not exist. Primates with nightmare fingers. Reptiles with tongues faster than thought. Mammals that communicate like insects. Amphibians that transform into toxic balloons. Each species is an answer to millions of years of questions that only this island asked. The humid forest covers the eastern mountains like an impenetrable green mantle. Humidity is constant, the air is dense, light barely penetrates the upper canopy, creating a world of perpetual shadows, where vision matters less than sound, smell, touch. Here life never rests. Nothing is accidental in Madagascar. The monsoon rains feed rivers that descend toward the ocean, carrying nutrients that sustain a unique food chain. Trees developed forms that exist in no other forest on the planet. Their roots extend like tentacles, seeking every drop of water. Their trunks store reserves for the droughts that will inevitably come. Their branches support an aerial ecosystem where entire creatures are born, live, and die without ever touching the ground. And among those branches, in the deepest darkness of night, something moves. Enormous eyes, bat ears, impossibly long fingers that tap the wood with hypnotic rhythm. The Ayaye emerges from its nest when the sun disappears. It is the strangest primate on the planet, an animal that seems assembled from parts of other creatures, as if evolution had experimented without restrictions. The Ayaye is darkness made flesh. Its black fur absorbs what little light exists. Its eyes, adapted to absolute blackness, detect movements imperceptible to any other mammal. But its true weapon is not in what it sees, it is in what it hears. The third finger of each hand is an anatomical aberration, thin as wire, bony, ending in a curved nail that seems torn from a storybook witch. This finger taps the bark of trees with mechanical precision. Tap, tap, tap. The sound bounces, the waves penetrate the wood, and the eye listens. Tactile echolocation. Inside the trunks, beetle larvae excavate tunnels. They are pure protein, concentrated energy, but they are hidden beneath centimeters of solid wood. No other primate can reach them. The eye can. When it detects the hollow echo of a lava gallery, its teeth spring into action, in sizes that grow continuously, like a rodent's capable of piercing wood that would resist steel. The eye opens holes with the determination of one who knows exactly what it seeks. Then it inserts the finger. That grotesque finger bends, turns, explores the dark tunnel. The nail hooks the lava, extracts it. A morsel of life torn from the tree's entrails, and the process repeats, tap, 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 all night, every night. The original inhabitants of Madagascar considered the eye an omen of death, a nocturnal demon whose appearance announced misfortune. They killed it on sight. Superstition nearly achieved what millions of years of evolution could not, exterminating it. But the eye persists. In the fragments of forest that still remain, this impossible primate continues its nocturnal search. Its tapping resonates among the trees like a Morse code of survival. Each larva extracted is a victory against extinction. Each night completed is a defiance of those who consider it cursed. The eye knows no other way to exist. Its anatomy is so specialized, it cannot feed on anything else. If the trees disappear, it disappears. If the larvae run out, it runs out. Its destiny is written in the wood it taps every night, and it is not alone. When the sun reaches the forest canopy, another hunter awakens. But this one does not move. This one waits. The panther chameleon is a masterpiece of patient killing. Its body, capable of changing color in fractions of a second, merges with its surroundings until it becomes invisible. Green on green leaves, brown on brown branches, a texture that mimics bark, lichens, shadows, perfect immobility. Its eyes are independent turrets. Each one rotates 360 degrees without the other moving. One watches the front, the other scans the rear. The brain processes both images simultaneously, creating a field of vision that encompasses nearly all surrounding space. Nothing goes unnoticed. The chameleon does not chase prey, it waits for them. Its feet are designed to grip branches with vice-like strength. Toes fused into opposing groups create pincers that do not release. The prehensile tail coils as an additional anchor. Once positioned, the chameleon can remain motionless for hours, days if necessary, and then a fly appears. The insect suspects nothing. It lands on a nearby leaf, cleans its wings, searches for nectar less than 20 centimeters away. A predator watches it with one eye while the other monitors potential threats. The chameleon's muscles tense imperceptibly. The calculation is instantaneous. Distance, angle, wind speed, prey movement, all processed in milliseconds by a brain the size of a pea. The chameleon's tongue is a biological projectile coiled inside its mouth, longer than its own body, loaded like a spring. The shot. The tongue exits at a speed that generates a force of 26 times gravity. No animal muscle can match that acceleration. In 1/100th of a second, the sticky tip impacts the fly, wraps around it, drags it back. The chameleon chews calmly. The insect never knew it was dead. This tongue is the result of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. A modified hyoid bone acts as a catapult. Collagen fibers store elastic energy. Specialized muscles control direction with millimeter precision. All coordinated for a single purpose, killing at a distance. The panther chameleon is just one of nearly 200 chameleon species that inhabit Madagascar. More than half of all the world's chameleons evolved here, large as human forearms, small as fingernails, each adapted to a specific niche within the forest. But not all hunt insects. The largest capture small birds, lizards, even other chameleons. Their tongues are versatile weapons that do not discriminate. If it moves and fits in the mouth, it is food. Territoriality is fierce. Males defend their branches with color displays that function as warnings of war. Green transforms into furious orange. Blue and red spots explode across the skin like neon signs. The message is clear: retreat or fight. When warnings fail, combat is brutal. Bites that tear off scales, shoves that knock the opponent to the ground where terrestrial predators wait. Falling means dying. The females observe. They choose the male with the most intense colors, with the largest territory, with demonstrated ability to defend what is his. Reproduction is not a right, it is a conquest. After mating, the female digs a tunnel in the humid earth. She deposits her eggs in the cool darkness, covers them, abandons them. She will never know her offspring. The small chameleons will hatch months later, fully formed, completely alone. From the first day, they are hunters. Their tiny tongues already fire with the same lethal precision as their parents. Their eyes already rotate independently, Their bodies already change color according to the environment. The genetic programming is complete. There is no learning. There is no teaching. Only instinct refined over millions of years. The panther chameleon represents the strategy of the perfect ambusher. Infinite patience, fulminant attack, no waste of energy. In an ecosystem where every calorie counts, this efficiency is the difference between life and death. But while chameleons dominate the upper branches, other creatures have conquered spaces no reptile can reach. On the forest floor, among the humid leaf litter and fallen trunks, something small crawls. At first glance it looks like a hedgehog, but it is not. It resembles nothing that exists outside this island. The streaked tenrec is a mammal that forgot how to be a mammal. Its body is covered with yellow and black spines that make it look like a giant wasp. A visual warning for any predator. I am dangerous. Do not touch me. But these spines guard a secret that defies all zoological logic. They can vibrate. When the tenrec rubs its spines together, it produces a high-pitched, almost ultrasonic sound. It is not a defensive noise. It is communication. This small mammal has developed a signaling system that works exactly like that of crickets. Stridulation. No other mammal on the planet communicates this way. Tenrecs are the only ones who converted their fur into a musical instrument. Offspring vibrate to locate their mother in the darkness of the understory. Adults vibrate to find mates. Entire families vibrate to stay together while foraging among the leaves. Sound travels where sight cannot reach. On the tropical forest floor, vegetation is so dense that seeing beyond a few meters is impossible. Odors mix in a confusion of humidity and decomposition, but sound penetrates. The vibrations of the spines cut through the undergrowth like coded messages that only other tenrecs can decipher. This animal is a living fossil. Tenrecs belong to a lineage that separated from the rest of mammals more than 60 million years ago. They arrived in Madagascar before humans existed, before continents had their current shape, before most modern mammals had evolved. And here they diversified. Today, more than 30 species of tenrecs exist in Madagascar. Some look like shrews, others look like moles. Some developed soft fur, others lethal spines. Each species occupied a different niche, filling ecological gaps that on other continents were occupied by completely different animals. Extreme convergent evolution. The aquatic tenrec developed webbed feet and a hydrodynamic body, taking the place of otters that never reached the island. The highland tenrec developed a long snout for digging, replacing the absent moles. Each form is an independent solution to universal problems of survival. But the streaked tenrec chose another path. Its diet consists mainly of earthworms and larvae that it extracts from the humid soil. Its sensitive snout detects movements beneath the surface. Its short but sharp claws dig with efficiency. And when it finds food, it devours it with a voracity that seems disproportionate for its size. The tenrec's metabolism is an anomaly. It can enter torpor when conditions become difficult. Its body temperature drops. Its heart rate reduces to minimal beats. For months, it can remain in this state of suspension, waiting for the rains to return, for the worms to come back to the surface, for life to reactivate. This ability to shut down is rare among mammals. Most depend on constant body temperatures to survive. The tenrec dispenses with that luxury. Its body adapts to what the environment offers, not the other way around. When it awakens, urgency is absolute. It must feed. It must reproduce. It must rear offspring before the next drought forces it to hibernate again. Females can give birth to up to 30 young in a single litter, more than any other mammal of its size. Most will die, but some will survive, and that is enough. On the floor of Madagascar, the streaked tenrec continues its improbable existence. Its spines vibrate in the darkness. Its ancient lineage persists. And each generation that is born is testimony that evolution, when given enough time and enough isolation, can create forms that no scientist could have predicted. But the ground is not the only domain of the strange. In the temporary pools that form after the rains, something red waits. It is not a flower, it is not a fallen fruit. It is an amphibian that seems designed to warn the entire world that it should not be touched. The tomato frog is exactly what its name suggests. Its body is a brilliant red sphere, the size of a fist, with black eyes that contrast like dark seeds. It looks edible. It looks harmless. It looks like an easy morsel for any hungry predator. It is a deadly trap. When an attacker bites it, its skin secretes a toxic glue, a substance so adhesive it can seal a snake's mouth shut for days. The predator is incapacitated, unable to feed, struggling to unstick its jaws, while the venom irritates its tissues. The frog escapes. This defense mechanism is unique among amphibians. Other frogs produce toxins, others have warning colors, but none combines both strategies with such an effective biological adhesive. The tomato frog is a chemical fortress in the shape of a fruit. Its color is no coincidence. The brilliant red functions as a universal signal of danger. Predators that have survived an encounter with it learn the lesson. They never again attack anything that resembles it. And those that do not learn die with their jaws glued shut. Natural selection in its most brutal form. Tomato frogs inhabit the wettest zones of eastern Madagascar. They need water to reproduce, but not just any water. Temporary pools where there are no fish to devour their eggs. Stagnant ponds where larvae can develop without competition. The male sings to attract females. His voice is a deep croak that resonates through the vegetation. Females choose the most persistent, the most sonorous, the one who demonstrates the best lung capacity. Mating occurs in the water, where eggs are fertilized externally. Thousands of eggs float on the surface. Most will be devoured. Insect larvae, other amphibians, even their own siblings will compete for space and food. Only a fraction will reach metamorphosis. Only a few will develop that red color that will protect them for the rest of their lives. The tadpoles are vulnerable. Without the toxic glue, without the warning color, they are easy prey. They swim in murky waters, feeding on algae and organic matter, growing as fast as possible before the pool dries up. The race against time is merciless. When they finally emerge from the water, they are miniature versions of their parents. Red, toxic, ready to face a world that learned to fear them. But the tomato frog is not alone in its strategy of chemical warning. Madagascar harbors some of the most venomous frogs on the planet. The golden mantella, barely the size of a coin, accumulates toxins from the insects it consumes. Barron's climbing frog, with psychedelic color patterns, warns predators with every centimeter of its brilliant skin. All share a common origin. Madagascar's mantellas and South America's poison dart frogs developed identical strategies completely independently. Oceans separate them. Millions of years divide them. But evolution arrived at the same solutions because the problems were the same. Perfect convergence. In the humid forests, these small toxic fortresses hop through the leaf litter. Their colors scream danger. Their bodies store chemical arsenals, and every predator that ignores them pays the price with pain, paralysis, or death. Meanwhile, in the upper branches, other inhabitants of Madagascar have developed completely different strategies to survive. Deception is an ancient art in Madagascar, and no one masters it better than the satanic leaf-tailed geckos. Its scientific name is Uroplatus fantasticus, phantom, and the description is perfect. This reptile has taken camouflage to levels that defy human perception. Its flattened body adheres to trunks as if it were part of them. Its skin replicates bark textures with photographic precision. Its edges are adorned with irregular fringes that eliminate any telltale shadow. But it is its tail that completes the illusion. Twisted, dry, with serrated edges and simulated spots of decomposition. It looks like a dead leaf. A leaf that fell from the tree and got caught on the bark. Predators ignore it because their brains register nothing alive, perfect invisibility. The satanic gecko remains motionless for hours. Its slow metabolism does not demand frequent feeding. It can wait. It can merge with the tree until night arrives and insects begin to move. Then the eyes activate. Enormous, without eyelids, with vertical pupils that dilate to capture every available photon. The satanic gecko's night vision is 350 times more sensitive than a human's. In the absolute darkness of the forest, it sees with perfect clarity. The hunt is silent. There is no pursuit. There is no dramatic ambush. The gecko simply waits until an insect passes close enough, then its jaw closes with trap speed. One movement, one bite. Stillness returns. Madagascar harbors more than a dozen species of Europlatus, each specialized in imitating different substrates. Some replicate moss, others simulate lichens. The largest can disappear on thick branches as if they had never existed. The evolution of deception. Each generation that survives does so because it was slightly more invisible than its siblings. The visible ones were devoured. The detectable ones left no offspring, only the perfect phantoms passed on their genes. Millions of years of this filter created animals that seem impossible. The Madagascar hissing cockroach uses an opposite strategy. Instead of hiding, it intimidates. This insect, the size of a human hand, is the largest cockroach in the world. Its armored body resists crushing that would kill any other arthropod, but its true defense is not physical. It is sonic. When it feels threatened, it expels air through its abdominal spiracles. The result is a loud, aggressive hiss that perfectly imitates the sound of a snake. Predators stop, evaluate, decide the risk is not worth it. The cockroach escapes. This hiss also functions in combat between males. Two rivals face each other in the leaf litter, hissing and pushing with their horns. The most persistent wins the right to reproduce. The loser retreats without serious injuries. Acoustic communication in an insect. Hissing cockroaches are herbivores. They feed on fallen fruits and decomposing plant matter. Their role in the ecosystem is that of recyclers, converting dead material into nutrients that return to the soil. Without them, the forests would drown in their own waste. But perhaps no creature in Madagascar better represents the evolutionary strangeness of the island than the Indri, the largest of the lemurs, the only one without a tail, and the owner of one of the most extraordinary voices in the animal kingdom. When the Indri sings, the entire forest listens. Its call is a melancholic howl that can last several minutes. The notes rise and fall in complex patterns that scientists still struggle to decipher. It sounds like music. It sounds like lamentation. It sounds like a conversation in a language humans can never learn. The sound travels kilometers. Indri families communicate across entire valleys. Each group has a distinctive song, an acoustic signature that identifies territory and kinship. When one group sings, neighbors respond. The forest fills with voices that delineate invisible borders. The Indri is disappearing. It does not survive in captivity. All attempts to keep it in zoos have failed. It needs its specific forest, its specific trees, its specific climate. It is the most demanding primate on the planet, and its habitat shrinks every year. Its song could be the last sound we hear from it. The Indri is not alone in its struggle for survival. The entire island is a battlefield between the ancient and the modern, between what was and what remains. Lemurs are the original primates of Madagascar. More than 100 different species evolved here, filling every imaginable niche. Some are nocturnal, with enormous eyes that glow in the darkness. Others are diurnal, leaping among branches under the tropical sun. Some weigh less than an apple. Others once reached the size of gorillas. The largest no longer exist. When humans arrived less than 2,000 years ago, they found giant lemurs that walked on the ground like bears. They hunted them. They exterminated them. Today, only fossilized bones remain, and legends from elders about enormous creatures that inhabited the forests. Extinction is not ancient history. It is the present. Verreaux's sifaka dances across the sand like a ballet dancer. Its lateral leaps with arms extended for balance seem choreographed, but it is not art, it is survival. On the ground, the sifaka is vulnerable. Its legs are designed to propel itself between trees, not to walk. Every second on open ground is a risk. Leap, spin, land, leap again. In the branches, the sifaka is unbeatable. It propels itself between trees with a force that seems to defy physics. Its hind legs are biological springs, capable of launching it up to 10 meters distance. No predator can follow it when it reaches the canopy, but the trees are disappearing. Deforestation has reduced sifaka habitat to isolated fragments. Populations that were once connected now live on islands of vegetation surrounded by burned fields. They cannot cross. They cannot intermingle. Inbreeding weakens their genes. Madame Berthe's mouse lemur weighs 30 grams. It is the smallest primate in the world. It fits in the palm of a human hand. Its eyes occupy most of its skull, adapted for hunting insects in total darkness. During the day, it sleeps in tree holes. At night, it emerges like a small phantom with claws. Its size makes it vulnerable to everything. Snakes, owls, other larger lemurs, even predatory insects can pose a threat. Its defense is speed and invisibility. If it is detected, it is probably dead. But these small survivors have an ace up their sleeve. They can enter torpor during the dry season. Their metabolism reduces drastically. Their body temperature drops until it equals the environment. They seem dead. But when the rains return, they awaken hungry and ready to reproduce. Each lemur species developed unique solutions. The red-collared lemur consumes bamboo that contains enough cyanide to kill a human. Its digestive system neutralizes the poison in some way scientists still do not fully understand. It has exclusive access to a resource no other animal can touch: toxic monopoly. The red-ruffed lemur is one of the few primates that builds nests for its young. The mother deposits the babies in structures of leaves and branches while she forages. The little ones remain motionless, trusting that the nest will protect them until mom returns. It does not always work. Arboreal snakes know these nests. They search for them systematically. A lemur infant is an easy feast, unable to flee, unable to defend itself. Mothers sometimes return to find only remains. The fossa is the supreme predator. This carnivore, a distant relative of mongooses, is the only one capable of hunting adult lemurs in the trees. Its elongated and flexible body slides through the branches like a snake with legs. Its retractable claws allow it to climb surfaces that would stop any other mammal. When the fossa hunts, the lemurs scream, alarms that resonate throughout the forest, warnings that save lives, but not all of them. The fossa is patient, silent, lethal. It can stalk for hours before attacking, and when it attacks, it rarely fails. The balance between predator and prey keeps the system functioning. Too many fossas would exterminate the lemurs. Too many lemurs would devastate the forests. The constant tension between both keeps populations at sustainable levels. But humans altered that balance. We hunt fossas because they attack our livestock. We destroy forests because we need land to cultivate. And in the process, we dismantle a system that took millions of years to build. Madagascar is bleeding. The forest burns. Every year, Thousands of hectares of tropical jungle disappear beneath the flames. Farmers burn to plant rice. Ranchers burn to create pastures. Loggers fell what the fire does not reach. Smoke covers the horizon. From space, the scars are visible. Brown patches where there was once continuous green. Isolated fragments where there were once corridors of life. Madagascar has lost 90% of its original forest cover. The animals have nowhere to go. The eye taps trees that will soon be charcoal. The panther chameleon waits for prey on branches that will soon be firewood. The streaked tenrec vibrates messages that no one else can hear because its relatives were buried under cultivated fields. The tomato frog dries out. Its temporary pools no longer form because deforestation altered the rain cycle. Ponds that once lasted months now evaporate in weeks. Tadpoles die before completing metamorphosis. Entire generations disappear without a trace. The satanic gecko becomes visible. When the tree that conceals it is felled, its perfect camouflage becomes useless. It lies exposed on bare ground, a dead leaf that no longer has a forest to hide in. Predators find it, collectors trap it. The black market for exotic pets pays well for phantoms. The Indri sings less and less. Its families fragment, its territories shrink. Its voice, which once resonated across entire valleys, now barely crosses the boundaries of ever smaller forest patches. Some groups become so isolated that their songs become inbred, repetitive, impoverished. Madagascar is a system in fragile equilibrium. Every species that survives here depends on forests that are disappearing, on cycles that are being altered, on an isolation that no longer protects it from the greatest threat, the human being. 90% of its species exist nowhere else on the planet. If they disappear here, they disappear forever. There is no second chance. There is no other evolutionary laboratory where nature experimented in this way. There is no other island where primates tap wood with witch fingers, where chameleons fire tongues like projectiles, where mammals communicate by vibrating their spines. The the Indri, the panther chameleon, the tomato frog, the satanic gecko, the streaked tenrec, the sifaka, the fossa. All are survivors of 160 million years of isolation. All could become extinct within decades. Time is running out. Protecting Madagascar is not just conserving an island. It is preserving the strangest and most valuable chapter of the history of life on Earth. It is keeping alive a museum of evolutionary possibilities that can never be replicated. It is recognizing that some things once lost never return. The forest waits. The creatures that inhabit it continue their ancestral routines. The eye taps, the chameleon stalks, the tenrec vibrates, the frog warns, the gecko disappears, the Indri sings. But for how much longer depends entirely on us. If you felt the power of this journey, like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next stories of nature in its purest form. Until next time.